Well, what Kendra and I are going to talk about today is mentorship. And one of the reasons we're talking about this is that our Master Your Mind mentorship starts this week. And you do have an opportunity to become a mentee in this mentorship. I've put a link in the video description. Hopefully it came through. If it didn't, I will throw my second set of eyes on and see if that actually posted. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. Hello, Abdallah. Happy Monday. I'm going to stick that link in again. If you would like to join us, I am offering you all just right now, half of the investment. We're going to sponsor half of it for you if you'd like to join us this week, and you can get started right now today.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that link is in the comments. If you are watching replay, it's probably in the video description. So just check that out and join us, because it starts immediately. There's no lag time.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit about why it's a good thing to join a mentorship program. And I'm going to use my own experience, if you don't mind, for a couple of seconds here.
Please.
Just to kind of explain what it is and what it will mean to you in your life, and what it has meant to me in my life. And basically, I've always been a go-getter, a hard worker my entire life. I've been in situations where I've been when my kids were little, I was homeless with the kids in the car for a few days. I've been on welfare. I've had no food. I've had all kinds of situations that I've had to get myself out of. But a lot of times when even if we're hard workers and go-getters and all that stuff, I would always make it to a certain place. So I would always make it to this certain place I'll look at it as like a bubble. So I'd always get far, but I could never really burst out of the bubble and get further. So if you know what I mean, we get to a certain place and I just couldn't get out of that, break that bubble to get to the place that I really wanted to be, successful, my own business, that type of thing. And I couldn't figure it out on my own. And I'm really stubborn. So if any of you can relate to this, we're strong, we're go-getters, but we're also, I was like, I can do this on my own. I can, do this. And years were going by and I just could not figure out the formula or what I needed to do to burst out of that bubble. A couple of years ago, I came across Master Shri Akarshana. At the time, he was still Eric Ho. And for whatever reason, when I started watching his videos on YouTube, there was something inside of me, that strong person that I am, there was something inside of me that resonated with everything that he said. And I was thinking about it, and I looked at him, and he's successful. He's successful in his life. He helps other people. That's what I wanted to do. And so I started following him. And then I realized that what was in my heart, what I was feeling in here, was I needed a mentor. I needed someone to show me the steps I needed to take to burst out of that bubble so that I could get to the life that I wanted to live and be with passion and purpose and all of that. I wanted to be happy and know that I was making a difference in the world. And so I took Master Shri Akarshana's words, and I not only did that, though, I listened to him for a little while and let it sink in. But what I started doing was I started taking action. I started going to some of the trainings. Some of them were free. Some of them I had to invest in. I had to invest in myself. And once I started doing that, that is exactly when I started literally blossoming like a flower. Things started opening up for me. I started to be able to finally get out of that bubble to be able to reach my destiny. And I continued. And once you start doing that, once you start seeing that you're being successful and moving forward by having a mentor and making a commitment to yourself, an investment to yourself, once you start doing that, then you want to continue. And each step of the way, Jane is one of my mentors, and she teaches me an amazing amount of things. And once you start going in that direction and break out of that bubble, there's no stopping you. You become literally unstoppable. And then here's the cool part: you get to help other people and lift them up and show them how to get out of their own way and their own bubble. But it takes commitment, it takes courage, it takes an investment in not only time, but sometimes money. And it takes, well, a lot of passion, but mostly courage to step out of that comfort zone of yours and do something. You're not going to be, I don't think, to get to where most of us have big, huge dreams and, which is great. Most of us can't get there by ourselves. I haven't seen anybody do it. Everybody that I know that's successful in their life has a mentor. That's just the way. Isn't that true?
An advisor, an elder, yeah. But the thing is, and here's what I always do. Kendra, I think, has the same standards for finding a mentor that I do. I don't look for people with a lot of letters behind their names or a fancy title, and that's saying something coming from someone with a PhD. So I don't look for, if I can get a PhD, you can get a PhD. Like, it does take work, it takes commitment. It shows that you can stick with something and you can work. But I know a lot of people with PhDs who are utterly unremarkable, and their life doesn't show anything out of the ordinary. They are the same as the guy next door who didn't even graduate from high school. They haven't done anything with it. So what Kendra said just a minute ago about looking when she found Master Sri, who was Erico at the time, about the same time that I did, that's really how I found him as well. And his energy really spoke to me. I appreciated the way that he presented things because his language really made sense and hit home. But his energy, and he teaches eye energy transfer. And there was something in his eyes that I was just really drawn to. And I remember one of the very first videos that I found of him, I actually turned my laptop to my husband and I said, I'm going to work with this guy. And he was like, do you even know him? I'm like, nope. But I just knew, like, I was just drawn there. There was a purpose there because that message just hit me in the right place. But the thing that I look for in a mentor, there are two things, not qualifications. I do look for, what does their life look like? Mm-hmm. Do they have the fruits of their labor in their own life? Are they successful? Are they able to have an idea and then manifest it into reality? Big. That's number one, hands down. Number two, what does their track record look like with other people? Do they have a history of being able to translate their ability to manifest for self into the ability to guide others along? Kendra said something, and I wrote the word down, bubble. So think of your life as a bubble. And Kendra, I love that. Think of your life as a bubble. Your bubble is as big as your understanding, your beliefs, and your ability to stretch your thoughts. We can only stretch them as far as our subconscious allows us to. And I use this example a lot, but think about the Wright brothers, or the two men who are credited with creating flight airplanes. And people around them told them that they were nuts. Those guys are crazy. They laughed at them. They were scientists. They had a vision. Their subconscious mind allowed them to think beyond the present reality and say, what if, let's try this, let's work with aerodynamics, let's work with those things weren't even words back then. Most of us are stuck in the other place with the mindset of what is, and this is my possibility. I can only go this far. That's a fixed mindset. What working with a mentor has done for me, and I've had several mentors, Master Sri Akashan is not my first. I've had business mentors, mindset mentors, and every single one of them has served a purpose. And every single one of them has helped me see what I'm not seeing and helped me understand what's outside of my bubble. And Kendra said another word that's really important: investment. There are a lot of voices out there. You can go to our YouTube channel, you can go to Master Sri's YouTube channel, you can go anywhere, Google any topic, and you'll get 17 million billion results, whatever. But there's a lot of voices. And when you don't have someone guiding you personally, you're going to get what you pay for, which is nothing. You know, I used to give free breakthrough sessions, no cost. You could call me. I'd spend an hour with you. I'd make some recommendations for you about what you do in your life. It might include working with us at GILD Coaching. It might not. I don't do that anymore. I do very low cost, but I require that there's a small cost for the call. Why? Why would I do that?
Because a lot of times if it's free, people don't give the importance to it, and they either don't show up, which is a waste of your time and theirs, and or your time mostly. But it puts some value on the call.
Yeah, because if somebody doesn't have, and I mean, it's a little tiny, it's $25 US, and that's not what an hour with me costs by any means, but it's just something to say, hey, I mean this. I want to move forward. I commit to my time, because if people are booking that free session, it is worth in their mind what they paid for it. So in their mind, if they invested zero, then it's optional. And if you have a session with me, it shouldn't be optional. If something comes up, we can reschedule, but it shouldn't be optional if you're really there to move forward. And so, you know, that's really, really important. You have to be ready to invest. And a lot of people, this is where they get turned off, right, Kendra? Because people don't like to talk about money. Money is just a form of energy. If you don't like to talk about money, we need to talk and get you away from that negative money mindset, because it is the thing that needs to be talked about. Because I love money and money loves me. What about you, Kendra?
I love money, money loves me, and money comes easily to me.
Easily through multiple sources on a continuous basis, and it increases all the time.
And I love it.
I love it. And it's not wrong to love it. It is a form of energy, and I love all positive energy.
Yeah.
Right? So if you start to get all, oh, they're making a pitch to me. No, I'm not. If this message doesn't fall to you and resonate with you, I'm not speaking to you. I'm not pitching to anybody. I'm giving you the opportunity to grow in a place where people are going to really focus on you and cultivate you and who you are, and help you to get past your bubble, see what you're not seeing. And many people find the benefit in that, some don't. And that's really the difference between people who get somewhere and people who are stuck.
I think for me, a couple of things that people don't think about when it comes to mentorship, or that has helped me in my life, being mentored by Master Shri Karshna, Rebecca, the whole I Am Creator team, as well as yourself, is that it taught me how to think bigger in my universe. It taught me how to stop thinking about just my town or my state or my country. That's all I had as an option. It taught me to think globally, to think universally. So now when I think about things, I don't think about it, I don't limit myself to a small space like my town or state or country. There's no limit. I open up the opportunity that I have to help people to the entire world. That has changed my overall thinking, not just with business, but with everything in my life. It's literally opened it up into a whole other realm. And I think that's probably one of the things that I'm most appreciative of. And I see the difference in some people who have started their own business. And so they're trying to figure out how to get people in their town to buy. And it's like, you have the whole world.
Right.
You have the whole world to help, right? So that for me, having a mentor, that mindset really changed for me, because I grew up in a small town, and we get conditioned to think that this is your little bubble, and this is all you're going to be able to do your entire life. It's not true. And so, that really, really opened up for me, and also being able to think outside the box, to be a solution-focused person. I don't call challenges problems anymore. I don't ever, and I correct people when they do. They're challenges, and challenges can be figured out, and because they're all figure outable. So that also is another change in my mindset in order for me to move forward. And Jane asked me how I was this morning.
I was
And
just thinking about that. I was like, let me tell you about this.
Jane, see, I can read your mind. Jane asked me how I was, and we get on, before we start the call, and we ask each other, hey, how you doing? And I literally was brought to tears describing how amazing I am doing and how amazing I feel in my life right now. And I don't have anything different in terms of, like, I don't have a new house or a new car or anything of that sort, but I feel different in here. And
I
that
don't want
difference
a new house or a new car right now. I love my home and I love my car.
I know. And that difference in here, that difference is what is making the difference in my business, in who I'm attracting to my business. Me being,
Kendra is attracting people right and left.
it's really amazing. And also it's allowing me to, instead of me trying to think, okay, what's my next step? What am I supposed to do? It's allowing me to just allow things to come to me. It's coming to me. I wake up early in the morning. I'm usually awake in my bed about 3:30 in the morning. And I spend that time, first of all, I say a little prayer, I say what I'm grateful for, but I spend that time just laying there and just letting ideas download. And I get up and I have a big, on the other side of this wall is a door, and I have a big piece of paper. And as soon as I get up at 4:30, I write down the things that were downloaded to me.
Awesome.
And that's the difference. I would never have been able to think like this before my having a mentor, and a good mentor, one that's successful, one that helps other people and wants to see you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the difference with a mentor, whether they're just in it for themselves or whether they want to see you succeed too. There's a big difference. And when you find somebody that wants you to succeed as much as they're succeeding, it makes all the difference in the world. It really, really does.
The thing that I was going to share about before we came on live here, when I was just asking you how you're doing, and this is a change that Kendra and I both have because of being mentored, because of having a mentor. Think about the last time somebody said, hey, how you doing? You're like, what does everybody say immediately?
Doing great. I'm fine.
Yeah, right. So I said, Kendra, how are you doing today? And she did this. Like, she thought about it for a minute. Like, that's a huge shift, because most of us are just, it's just a greeting, like saying hello, goodbye.
Automatic.
Hey, I'm fine. Yeah, it's automatic, and we don't really think about it. And we also, many times people ask that question and they're not doing it for that investment. But if we start treating that question as a real question, like Kendra did, it changes our life. And we wouldn't be at that point without having been mentored by someone who teaches us to slow down, think, allow, really consider that words matter, that you shouldn't speak unless the words are going to matter. It's not just to hear noise coming out of your body. And it really means something. So I had no idea what she was going to say. I figured that things weren't horrible because I had just spoken with her yesterday, and I think it'd be good. But, I was like, oh gosh, because she thought about it for a while, and then she was like, I'm just so great that there aren't words to describe how great. And I'm like, it's the best answer in the world. It was the best answer in the world for two reasons. Number one, she actually really thought about it. And number two, I'm super glad that Kendra's so great, she doesn't even have adjectives to describe it. But, we wouldn't be there without working with a mentor. And one of the things that I really appreciate, not only about how we run the Master Your Mind mentorship, but also how a lot of the mentorship programs that we've been involved in work, is that there's a community. A lot of people doing something together is really powerful because it builds up energy.
Yes.
And you also have the peer-to-peer relationships that can help you. And so that's something that's the reason Kendra and I are together anyway. It's the reason that we know each other and are here with you.
A couple of other things that come to mind. When you hire a mentor, opportunity comes knocking at your door, and all of a sudden you've got opportunity. That's how I started a business with Dr. Jane Mims. I went, well, when I saw Master Shri Akarshana with Grandmaster Akshar, they were in Bali, and I said, I'm going to be in Bali next year. And so I manifested that. And I manifested being with a group of wonderful, beautiful women in Bali at this beautiful, amazing place. And that's where I met Jane. And she had a download of information that came to her on that trip. And she came to some of us and said, this is what I see. This is what I want to have happen. And it was, and I just stood there for a second. I didn't even think about it. I didn't. I just said, I'm in. It was opportunity. And even though I was fearful, I had some doubts and fears, I stepped forward and I took it anyway. So it gives you never know when an opportunity comes in. You never know. That we have such a diverse group of people here, and that people are always watching and looking and asking for opportunity and giving opportunity. So you just never know. Master Shri Akarshana, Dr. Jane Mims works with Master Shri Akarshana, a huge opportunity, and it can happen for you too. That's the cool thing. The second thing I just want to mention that comes to mind is hope. So a lot of times when we're trying to build our lives and we're working really hard and we just don't see how we're going to we don't really see the path that clearly, and we start to lose hope. We start to lose hope that that we deserve it, B, that we can actually do it, and C, that we'll ever get there. We see other people doing it. We see other people succeeding. We start losing hope. When you have a mentor and you have a group, a tribe like we do, when you start feeling like going down the losing hope road, oh, believe you me, we haul you right back. It gives you hope for your future, for your destiny. I'm going to ask you this question. When you're on your deathbed, what are you going to be thinking of? The new purse that you just bought or the new cell phone that you just bought? No, you're going to be thinking of memories and things that you've done and people that you've helped and your family and things that mean something to you in here. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it. So having a mentor, having a tribe like we have a wonderful, I can't say enough about our tribe. I look forward, I meet with our tribe, both Jane and I do, once a week. Actually, I meet with a lot of them twice because I do the yoga. And I always am excited, and I always look forward to it. And at the end, when my partner asked me, how did that go? I said, it was amazing. It makes a difference, you guys. It makes a difference.
Yeah, it's that old saying, united we stand, divided we fall. You can do it alone, and it's going to take you forever. There's going to be a lot of frustration. You're not going to have that support. You can try to use your friends and family as your support system. They can't play those other roles. And the reason that they can't play the role of mentor or advisor, it's twofold. Most of them, first of all, don't know the steps you need to take to get where you need to go. So their advice and guidance is going to be within their limited bubble because they're not already at the place where you're aiming. And so they might, from a family or friend love standpoint, say, oh, I wish you the best. But if they see you struggle, they're going to say, why don't you just come over here and do this instead? I'm trying to build my own business, but you could have a salary with benefits over here. I don't understand why you're adding this difficulty to your life. They don't understand. So that's why the tribe is so important. And the mentor is so important, because the hope exists because you see it already manifested in other people's lives. And that mentor has the clear and proven path to success.
Exactly.
And it's a shortcut for you. Who likes shortcuts? Yeah, I love shortcuts. We've got a couple people in the chat. Hello, Anuraj and Lainey. Hi, Lainey.
Hi, Lainey. Lainey just had a birthday recently.
Happy birthday. My gift is not singing to you.
I was going to say the same thing. I would sing, but probably wouldn't. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm working on my singing.
Completely off topic. My husband got me this great karaoke machine for Christmas.
I can't wait to come down and try it out.
We've been singing a lot. It's super fun.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it? It's so
Yeah,
much fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, so back on our topic, what came to mind there just as you were talking is a lot of times when we're starting a new journey, whether it's starting a new business or whatever you have, your family and friends also, it may be hard for them when you succeed. So that actually has come up for me recently.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a mentor, if I didn't have a tribe to talk to about this and work through this with, I probably would have gone the other way and given up. And the reason is I have, sometimes we have a family member that may be cheering you on in the beginning, even though they don't really understand it. And then all of a sudden they see you succeeding and they see you and they're back here. And we all know that we cannot bring somebody with us. They have to come with us on their own when they're ready. And a lot of times they don't understand, or it's confusing for them because you're a different person now. You're in a whole different ball game, and you may get some, interaction or whatever from this person. And so when things like that come up, and they will, trust me, they will, no matter what you're doing, if you're starting a new business, when things like that come up, it's great to be able to have a tribe of people or a mentor that you can say, hey, this has come up for me. Can you give me some feedback on this?
Well, and the reason that those people, you're changing every day when you're on a journey, every day you're changing. And if they're not coming along with you, all of us are not super big fans of change that we're not controlling. Is that fair?
Or understand. Some people
Right.
understand.
Right. So we're not really big fans of change that we haven't instigated ourselves. And so if you're changing and you play a role in that person's life, they're not a super big fan of this change. And so they won't be sabotaging you intentionally because they care about you, but there are subconscious blocks in that person. And so 100% of the feedback after that little bit of change has started is even partially, even minusculely motivated by preserving the role that you play in their life. And so it can't be trusted. I had a friend group when I started this entrepreneurial journey and my spiritual journey of growth. And I just felt myself emotionally, not intentionally, it just happened naturally, distancing from them a bit because they were just wrapped up in things that no longer were important to me. Yeah. They were wrapped up in things that were never of super big importance to me, like materialism, things like that, just worldly stuff. I was always around it. I just thought that was life and it just wasn't important to me until I realized I was being called to another purpose. But I, kind of didn't want to be around them so much anymore. I still care about them. I appreciate them as humans, but a couple of them said to me, why are you changing like this? You're not the same person that you used to be. And I just thought, because this is meaningless. I mean, obviously I didn't say that to them, but I just didn't find meaning in what they were spending their precious brain power and precious time thinking about. And you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if I invested my time there, I would stay there in that place. So I had to actually go out and find that other tribe. Your tribe is your vibe. We say it all the time, and it's true. So you want to try to remember like Kendra.
I have a new name, by the way. I wanted to tell you. Okay. My new name is 22.
That's just what we're going to call her. Are you Agent 22 or are you just number 22?
It's 22.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
You don't need it. Oh.
Do you know what the date is today?
2/22. There's a lot of 2s today. Yeah.
So it was kind of an inside joke. This is sort of off topic, but I just thought of it off the top of my head. I wanted to let Jane know. So she had messaged me last week and said, hey, you need to watch this movie Soul It's a Disney movie, and she goes, you'll know what I mean. And so I finally found it yesterday afternoon, and so David and I watched it, and it's a really great movie, by the way.
That's a great like the lesson in it is beautiful.
It was really, really cool. It's an animated, and it just was, you know, I don't typically, I mean, the only animated stuff that I'll watch is Disney stuff, but it really had a really good message. 22 just happens to be my number. So when you watch it, you'll see what I mean. But I was born on the August 22nd. And it's just been my number. 20. I see 20. I wake up, and this morning I woke up to look at my clock, 4:22. You know, when I was awake in bed, but when I looked over to look at my clock, it was 4:22. And whenever I see that, all day long, I see that, I'm like, of course it is. That's what I say. I'm like, it's 11:22. Of course it is.
It's no longer like, let me take a screen capture and post it online. I'm seeing news everywhere. It's like, of course it is, because that comes to me. It's that divine duality,
Yeah.
which is beautiful.
And that's what I say exactly. I go, of course it is, or whatever it is that I'm seeing. But anyway, it's a very cute movie, very applicable to what we're talking about here, and just you know, finding your spark.
Yes, finding your spark. And, you know, you're a mentor who really speaks your language, a mentor who really speaks to your heart, helps you to discover that the spark that you know is in there is even brighter than you think. It also helps you, just like Kendra was saying, and I love that you just said, you know, of course it's 4:22. Of course I'm seeing this number because this is my path. It's so normal for her because it's her path. Sorry, there was some sort of an alarm or something somewhere in the back. I was trying to figure out what that was, but because it's her path, you know, I didn't used to recognize all of the abundance in front of me. And working with Master Straight Kashina specifically, and the mindset mentor that I had right before I engaged him a couple of years ago to be my mentor, those two people specifically helped me to see abundance in a different way. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. One example is from a couple of years ago. Several years ago, my husband and I bought a new refrigerator. And long story about how we got it into our kitchen, but the doorways are too small. So anyway, I pretty much bribed the delivery guys. I was like, you cannot take this refrigerator away. It has to go in. So we figured out a way to shimmy it in. But this refrigerator has been a problem. And we're like, it won't fit out the doors. Like we actually had to damage our home to get it in. So like, we just have to keep fixing it. It's just kind of been a lemon, and it freezes up a lot. And so the repairman knows me now. And the second time that he came to repair it, he said, okay, well, this and this, and I think that this went out. I need to pull it out. And, you know, I had food all out in coolers, and the refrigerator was defrosted and all that. And when he pulled the refrigerator out, I don't know if you've ever seen underneath the refrigerator, but it gets pretty gross under there. Mm-hmm. And among all the muck was a beautiful, shiny, looked like it had just come off the assembly line, you know, from the US Mint quarter. And I was like, oh, so happy for this quarter. And he's like, why are you so happy that you found a quarter? And I said, I didn't just find a quarter before I picked it up. I said, look, how is it so clean and bright and shiny? You know, how is it this perfect? And he was like, I don't know. It was in the middle. Like, how did it get there? Like all the way under there without getting all the gross stuff all out. Like how? So I picked it up, and I actually still have that one quarter. And then a little while later, I was like, how much do I owe you? I had my checkbook, and he said, I have never seen this before. And it was supposed to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to have him come out and do everything. I think it was actually $225. Actually, I know it was $225. And those numbers are like, think about the numbers. I found a 25-cent piece. It was $225. I was sitting there waiting for my, you know, to write the check. And he's on his tablet. I said, you know, just tell me the invoice price, you know, the final amount, everything. And he said, this is so weird. I've never seen this before. I'm so confused. They've granted you a 1-day full warranty. The refrigerator is out of warranty. I've never seen this before. So my parts and labor and everything was going to come up to $225 with some odd cents. But it's fully covered under your 24-hour warranty. How did you get the 24-hour warranty? I didn't even know those existed. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I just made $225. And then I grabbed the quarter and 25 cents today. And I mean, I would just like rejoice that, I mean, the abundance comes to me all over the place. So now when I see different coins on the ground, I always pick them up and I immediately say, I'm so happy that the universe is literally showering abundance in my path. And our 9-year-old, the other day, we were out at a store just picking up a few groceries and she found a penny. Look, a penny, mama. And I looked down, I was like, well, get it. And so she picks it up and she's like, I want you to have it. I said, no, that's your abundance. I love that you want to share it with me, but I want you to hold that and remember that the universe has good things for you in your path, but you have to be open to seeing them.
Yeah.
You know, that repairman just thought that I was nuts, like how happy and grateful I was for a quarter. And then he was like, I'm so confused. Well, if I hadn't had the gratitude for the quarter, then some mystical body wouldn't have given me a free 24-hour all parts and labor guaranteed warranty. And, you know, it just comes like that. And so you've got to get to the point where you're like, oh man, I can't believe I just found this $100 bill sitting in the parking lot too. Of course I did.
Yeah.
The universe wants the good things for me.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I was thinking about too, that has helped me in terms of having mentors is I really don't have a lot of negative thinking about myself or my situation anymore.
Yeah.
So a lot of we get used to, I was talking about this yesterday, we get used to when we've had a tough life or we've had trauma or we've had things go on in our life, and as we're going through adulthood, and we get used to the feeling of, okay, I'm happy for this moment, but when is the other shoe going to drop? I better not stay happy because a problem's going to, I don't call them problems anymore, but most people do, so I'll use that language here now. But we're so used to feeling that we get conditioned to literally not even knowing when we've got happy near us, right? And what I've learned through not only Master Shri Akarshana, but specifically through Dr. Jane Mims, because she's the mindset coach, is how to change the language, how to change my language. So, and because that makes a difference, because what you're thinking up here is what is coming out into your life and what you're manifesting.
Yep.
So, and we do it subconsciously, we do it consciously, subconsciously. Sometimes I'll catch myself thinking, I used to, I really don't anymore. And that has been recently, over the past year, I'd say, the biggest change for me personally, in terms of, I don't think of challenges. I don't think that I have problems. I think I have challenges. I think I can overcome challenges. I don't dislike myself. I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm smart. I think I can do whatever it takes to get to the life of passion and purpose that I'm heading for. I think, and it occurred to me as you were talking, is that really I've abolished the negative thinking that I was conditioned to think.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what the Master Your Mindset mentorship does.
Absolutely.
A whole year worth. It's a year. It's a year. Can you imagine what you're going to be able to accomplish in a year with mentors such as myself or Dr. Jane Mims and the tribe? I mean, it's amazing the transformation that you can have in your life. It's amazing. And I'm very passionate about it because it's happening to me.
Yeah.
It's like it's a dream come true. It's you can hear people talking about this all the time, but I'm coming from the heart right now. I'm coming from here, my own experience that I've experienced, that I'm experiencing today. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, and you do. I mean, I remember the day that you announced that you left your corporate job, and your vision was that clients would come to you, and now they are. And so that life of passion and purpose, you actually said, the life that you're heading toward, I would tweak that and say the life that you're living.
Yeah. Oh,
Going to
absolutely.
get better from here.
And that's what you learn through this mentorship is that
Because I find little things like that that people say, and I'm like, back up to the statement that you said about 6 sentences ago, and let's just.
But yeah, well, what's cool about that is once you know, people, so when you have a mentor, they can find those things. And when you mentor somebody, you can, when somebody in our tribe talks like that, I notice it right away and I let them know. I say, hey, just want to let you know. And they're like, thank you so much for seeing that. I didn't even realize I said that.
Yeah.
And we do it ourselves.
And it's so easy though for us to see, but which is why we also need to mentor. I mean, I go to Kendra sometimes and I'm like, hey, I need you to coach me through this. You know, I have Master Shrey Koshna, we have Rebecca G. That, you know, we have a wealth of mentorship just in our close-knit group. But do you? You know, who do you have for that? How are you invested in it? And if you're ready to get invested in it, it's a great time because we start today. So our 8-week mentorship, it's really a 7-week mentorship. And then I give you a bonus week. So now I'm just calling it an 8-week mentorship because I'm never going to not give you the bonus week. So our 8-week mentorship starts this week. And then Kendra's right. You know, there's an option to continue and spend a whole year with us and really take it deeper and customize. So, you know, get in. You've got that link in the comments or in the video description here. So come join us, please.
Yeah, you really, you know, it's really the thing to do if you really want to move forward in your life, and be, you know, everything that you can be, then you know, you need to take a step, and that's what I did. And I'll trust me, I was living alone. I, you know, had a good job. I was making good money. I had benefits. And I quit that job. And I had to. And the reason I had to is because it was killing my soul. So if you're in a soul killing job, or if you're or a career, or you can feel it in here that you're not living the life that you've meant to live, then you need to take a step. That's just my thing. And once you take that leap, I will tell you this too, and it's honest to God's truth. I've never invested in something with either Master Shri Akarshana or yourself or anything that I have been unhappy about that I did.
Oh, yeah,
Never,
no.
never in a million years. Never have I ever taken a step. And I've invested a lot of, you know, in terms of money, I've invested money, time. It's always brought me to the next level.
Oh,
Always.
well,
Every
and
single
if you're
time.
finding that mentor who has that clear and proven path, the results in his own life or her own life, the track record of having helped others, and then you see that you see that as an opportunity for you and you follow that message that's resonated with you, you're not going to have any regrets. If you're coming in and you're expecting other people to do the work, that you're just going to sit there and, you know, just attract without the act part of it, then there's some mindset tweaking, and you really need the mindset mentor, and that's, you know, that's me and Kendra
And our tribe.
and our tribe and
Yeah,
our tribe.
we have a
Excellent.
great tribe. You know, I could talk all day about this,
But we're out of
but
time.
we're out of time. But it was so great to see everybody. So happy to have you here with us this morning, on this Monday morning, to start our week,
Yes.
fresh new week. You know, just really excited about the week, this week, or even the rest of the day today. It's early for us, so we still have the rest of the day. And
Absolutely.
don't forget to let us know if you have questions about the mentorship. Please comment or contact either one of us. We can answer any questions
Absolutely.
that you may have.
And if you're
We
seeing this and you're like, it's not Monday, and you're seeing a replay either on YouTube or in another Facebook group or somewhere, comment. You can also, if this is much later and you're catching this weeks after we said it, we'll do the mentorship again. So go ahead and, you know, reach out to me, and I'll honor the offer that I've made you today to sponsor half of your cost.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of the day. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.